Hi Siri, I'm looking for a new podcast, one that preferably is hosted by a UF Hall of Famer, one that airs every weekday that would bring me everything I need to know about the Florida Gators, including news, analysis, and opinions. Siri, is there such a show?
Have you heard of PodUp with Matthews in the morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or any podcast platform?
Oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that? UF Hall of Famer Shane Matthews has a show every weekday. I'm gonna go check it out tomorrow. Thanks, Siri.
Good morning, live edition of PodUp with Matthews in the morning from the International Diamond Center Studios. Locations across the state of Florida, right there in Celebration Point in the heart of Gator Nation. Go buy you some jewelry, folks, at International Diamond Center. Today we'll have JC. We'll also have Dr. Peter Indelicato. We'll talk different injuries here and there and anything else that you I know a lot's going on with team physicians with this being sued by athletes and things of that nature. We'll get his thoughts on that. If you got any injury questions, shoot them to Dr. Pete when he comes on the second portion of the program. If you missed it last night, Mighty Gators take it to the semis in baseball.
Yeah.
Win for the Gators.
Yeah.
JC, you're on the Titan Number Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. What's up? Did you watch the baseball game? Did you go to the game? What'd you do?
No. But I had friends who went to the game, reporting back in. Very happy with the result, of course. It seems like the weekend series is a distant memory, and it really is funny how. Yeah, you got to have. Cares. I guess in baseball, you got to have a short memory, and that is fact. And look at what amazing pitching can do for you. Last night in the World Baseball Classic, Italy, of all teams, beats America. Israel had a winning team. They're at war, by the way, on three fronts. So it is, it's incredible. Really, it is incredible. QB, I'm sure you were all over the Prairie View win last night in tournament basketball, but really
who'd they beat?
Prairie View, they just smoked Prairie View A&M. They beat up on Alcorn State last night. No, I mean, really, Braves. in the SWAC. What does SWAC stand for, QB? Can you tell me?
The Southwestern Athletic Conference. JC, I grew up in the SWAC, where it's nothing but SWAC schools.
I know. Well, I knew that. You're from the Delta. I get that.
Hey, I will tell you a quick story about the SWAC since you've gone to the SWAC.
All right.
I must have been 10 or 11. They're at the Mississippi, I don't know what the hell it's called now, but the football stadium downtown Jackson, where old Mississippi State used to play.
Yeah.
Okay. They had a game between Alcorn State, the Braves, and the Mississippi Valley Delta Devils.
Oh.
Where Jerry Rice and Willie Totten. Oh. So it was Willie Satellite Totten, Jerry World Rice. I think Isaac Holt was the All-American DB that was lined up with Jerry Rice.
Oh,
Long story short.
Okay.
My dad and I went to the game. I think we were the only two white dudes in the entire stadium, and it was packed. It was incredible. But that was Jerry Rice's senior year. I don't know the exact. I think I was around 10, but it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I know very well about the SWAC, JC.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. When Deion was coaching Jackson State, one weekend I was up there in Jackson, and I was flying back from the airport. And when I got into the airport at Medgar Evers International Airport, all these Jackson State fans were there, and I was told that stadium was damn near sold out to watch Jackson State play Southern. And it's amazing because in the day, I would go up there when I worked in Hattiesburg to watch Southern Miss play Mississippi State, or Mississippi State to play Alabama, or this or that. Florida even played in that stadium a couple times against Mississippi State. And I don't remember it truly being sold out, but it sure was when these black colleges played when Deion was coaching Jackson State. Hey, how about Barone 71? This guy is amazing. He hit an Israel-Italy parlay in the World Baseball Classic yesterday. He went with Jack Caglione. He hit a home run for Italy. What do you think about that guy? Isn't he's amazing. I love his attitude about it all. He goes right after it and tries to win money. It's a great thing. Yeah, big baseball one. Yeah, QB. I mean, basketball's about to kick in with the larger tournaments. We got TPC showing up this weekend. That starts tomorrow. We'll have our Peachland Dental Picks contest. We got these small colleges small conferences locking in their representatives for the tournament. Gonzaga beat Santa Clara last night. I think Santa Clara will still get in the West Coast Conference. Gonzaga, of course, will get in. And we're starting to see the field come together, and we will have a lot more to talk about Friday as the larger conferences get their teams involved in the quarter and semifinals of their respective tournaments. And then, of course, Selection Sunday on Sunday. I will be back from my quick trip to Texas by Sunday to be able to watch that. So we'll have a big show on Monday to go through the bracket, of course. And this is a great time of year. This is one of the best times of the year, and we're just about here. So.
Joseph is throwing trivia at us today on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel Law. Who was the last 1,000-yard receiver UF had? There's only one Power 4 team with a longer streak without a 1,000-yard receiver than UF. Can you name the receiver? He played at Auburn in 1999.
1,000-yard receiver?
Yeah.
I could probably think about that and come up with the answer, but right off the top of my head at 8:07 on a Wednesday, Auburn receivers are not on the top of my mind.
Yeah, but he even asked who was the last 1,000-yard UF receiver that we had. That's a great question. I would have to say it has to be. Oh man, it may go back to the Urban days. I don't think we've had a 1,000-yard receiver since then. And I don't even know if Percy was healthy enough to get 1,000 yards.
Well,
maybe it was Dallas Baker.
Yeah.
Well, if not, it was in the Spurrier era. I don't know the answer to that.
I don't know the answer to that either. Sorry. No. I
remember Ronnie Daniels. I thought he was a running back. I've never even heard of Ronnie Daniels. Who's the Florida receiver there, Joseph?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's
get to some of these Titan MR texts on the Titan MR text line. This I don't know who it's from, says firing Kelly Ray was not the answer to the problem. More money is needed to get better players. A new coach will not win without the money. Probably true.
It's hard to believe, really. I thought Kelly Ray Finley was going to be fine, but the dynamic of this sport changes quickly. I mean, look at Vic. What the hell's his name? Vic, the coach at Texas, who also
he used to be at Mississippi State.
Yes, and when he was at Mississippi State, that team in the semifinals of the Big Dance stopped the women Huskies, the Lady Huskies. They beat Connecticut to end that winning streak that Gino had. Vic, I just heard his name yesterday, but at any rate, he's coaching Texas, and they absolutely blew out somebody the other night in the SEC women's tournament for Texas, and they'll be a factor in that. So, if you can, it really does come down to, I guess, the support of the program and who's got the money, who's got the right coach. But Connecticut is probably going to win it all this year. They seem to be the best team. South Carolina's who Texas blew out the other day. So South Carolina's been the best team in the SEC here for the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years under Dawn Staley. And I'm quite limited in my ladies basketball knowledge right now, but I know South Carolina has really become the best team in the Southeastern Conference. And if they can do it there, they should be able to do it in Gainesville. But the thing is, Dawn Staley's what showed up there, and that's why it got so good. And that's I guess is what Florida's looking for. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. But
I think they're going after the Ole Miss coach. He's done a really I don't know, I don't know if it's a he or she, but they've done a really good job at Ole Miss.
Okay.
Okay, so Bubba Caldwell's our last 1,000-yard receiver. So that would have been in the Zucker days, I think.
Andre Caldwell.
Yes. Now, he may have played a year with Urban, but I want to say Zook recruited him. All right.
Vic Schaefer.
Vic Schaefer.
Thank you, Tony. Toby Permenter. Thank you, Toby. Well done, Toby. Vic Schaefer is the coach that ended UConn's winning streak and is the coach that beat South Carolina's brains out the other night. Vic Schaefer. Well done. Okay.
Daryl says, I'm going to calm down now over with the FSU win last night, the baseball team is going to be fine. I agree. You know, JC, I don't know if you saw what they wore last night. They don't wear this very often. I thought it was the first time I've seen them wear. They wore all white with the white hat.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it.
I liked it.
I like it a lot. I'm always into white. I don't know why. I like white football uniforms. I like the white Gator basketball uniforms. It says Florida in the old font, the best font, the bold font, the font that won it all in the early or late 2000s.
That's called athletic block font.
Give me that.
Block.
Give me that. Give me that. And then, last night's look on the diamond was just clean, very clean. Loved it. Loved it.
Yeah, and UF Gators on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says High Point beat a really good Duke baseball team last night. So
all right,
maybe a good team for all we know.
Let's just put Prowl of the Panther in the College World Series in Omaha. They're there. Well,
we might do
everybody, there's 7 spots left. We got 7 left because we already filled 1 spot with High Point. So there you go.
That's right. All right, so it's trivia day. This is from
trivia day.
From either. All things UF, I guess, is what they want to go by. It says, on Monday, we heard JC refer to the state seal, which is on our state flag.
Yes.
That state seal is also our university seal. We're the only school that can use it.
Oh, that's very interesting. Thank you for that fact. I love the Great Seal of the Free State of Florida. It's got that Indian, I think she's a Seminole Indian or something, standing there, a woman, and you got the Red Cross, and it's beautiful. That's my head cover for my driver. It'll always be there as long as I don't lose it. I've been losing things lately, QB. I don't know if it's a sign of age or just my mind is distracted. But how I lost a 6-iron on the driving range at Juliana Falls.
Oh, people do it all the time.
Do they really? On the driving range?
Yeah, you probably just left it up there. It's okay. Just order another one. All right. Let's get to our Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte and the surrounding areas. Go visit them at peachlanddental.com. We have the Players, which is pretty much a major championship.
I think so.
What's the latest status on Rory McIlroy, JC? Is he going to play?
Hard Rock's got odds on him, but he had a weightlifting injury of some sort before his second round at the Bay Hill. I don't know why he's in the weight room before he goes and plays golf, but maybe that's what they do. Yeah, maybe that's the new thing, or maybe it's just been going on and I haven't noticed. But let's see if he's in the field. I'm kind of thinking he's not going to be in the field. I kind of think he's not going to play because I think more importantly to him, he's got to defend his title at Augusta. He wants to go to that dinner. He wants to have, whatever the Irish people serve, potatoes and mash for the dinner, on Tuesday night in Augusta. So I think that's what he might be saving himself for. And right now, I don't see him in the field. So I think Hard Rock is wrong, and they'll basically take him off the board. But I don't see him in the field. So we're going to assume he's not playing because he's not on my app.
Okay, well, he's on the app that I look at for scoring, and he's in the 8:52 a.m. group with McIlroy, Vander Schauffele, and Hideki Matsuyama.
Okay, 8:52.
Again, I don't have the betting app like you do, but I'm just going by this, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, I'm gonna pick first.
I don't see him, QB. All right, you go ahead and pick first. Go ahead.
I'm going to go with a hot youngster. I'm going to go with Ludwig Åberg.
Okay, he had his best tournament in probably a year last weekend. Really dialed in the driver. Looked good. Looked like he should look. And that is a guy that can go low and score on any hole, can overpower a hole. I think this course is going to actually play easier than the one last week.
It always does.
Yeah, I don't think they're really worried about anything here on this layout. The course across the street at Sawgrass, that country club, I think it is too. I think it is too.
1,000 times harder.
Yeah. So that's what, and I've not played that, but I've heard it's good. All right, I'm going to go with a guy that somehow disappeared last week, but he's back in the field this week. He's been basically my favorite pick because of his top 10 and top 5 finishes thus far in the season. And that's going to be one Jake Knapp, who tees off at 9:16 a.m. Jake Knapp is my first pick.
All right. Speaking of this golf course, it is so short for these guys.
So short.
And if they do not have rough and the wind does not blow, they will light this place up.
Right.
Give me Cameron Young.
Okay, big week for him last week. He hits it a mile. He's really turned it around since winning at Greensboro last week. You like the way I bring in all these facts, QB, to all the golfers we pick? You gotta admire that.
I do. I love it.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna play. Let's see. I'm gonna take a guy who I think will open up this week and play better. And that's JJ Spawn, your US. Is he your US Open champ?
Yeah. Didn't he lose in the playoffs at this event last year, and they had to go back and play on Monday, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, I think he's ready to go low. Yeah.
All right, give me Si Woo.
Oh, that's a shocker. Okay. Top 20 finish last week. Playing well.
I love Si Woo.
Yeah, you do. He is your guy.
When you like to hang out with Si Woo?
Oh, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? Rory is on the 142 tee time, apparently. But look, I don't know how healthy he is. It's not worth burning a pick for a guy that might just bail in the second. I'll tell you what, this guy is one of my favorite guys. You talk about a guy who hits it a mile who weighs 135 pounds. And that's Min Woo Lee. That's who that is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. All right. Well, give me. I want Sepp Straka this week.
Okay. All right, Sepp Straka. You got some long hitters here. Straka, Young, but I've got Knapp and Minwoo. They're just as long as anybody. I'm going to take my guy from OU. I love this guy. Got her up as one twice. I just think he is just so consistent. I'm big Got her up fan. I'll probably bet him as well. Top 5, top 10. Go ahead.
All right, how many is that? 4 each so far? We pick one more?
Pick one more. It's a big turn.
Give me this dude's just he's probably got best iron game in golf, Colin Morikawa.
Playing great. Putting well. Really transitioned to the Bermuda and just does great things. I'm gonna take I was gonna take Schauffele, but I'm not there yet with him. I think he's getting a little bit more consistent. He's not quite there for me yet. I want to take Ben Griffin and Sam Burns. I'm not going to. I want to take Justin Rose. I'm not going to. I want to take Corey Connors. I'm not going to. So who is my last pick? It's going to be, as I'm sure people are just rolling their eyes saying, will you get on with it so we can move on? I'm going to take Ricky because I think Ricky Fowler could be a name that people really gravitate towards if he's close on the weekend, and he'll ride that wave. And let's just see. That's a long shot. I'm sure you can get him at 40 to 50 to 1, 60 to 1, but I'm going to take him.
All right, so give us a recap of our Peach Land Dental picks, JC.
QB with Oberg, Cam Young, Siwoo Kim, Seth Straka, and Colin Morikawa, the Cal Bear. JC with Jake Knapp, JJ Spawn, Min Woo Lee, Chris Gotterup, and Ricky Fowler. I tell you, I know I'm going to have a top 5 in that 5. I don't know if I've got a winner, but we'll see. We'll see. Top 5's a good one to win. Top 5's a good one to win.
You never know.
All
right. We're going to get to a couple of these texts here. Josh and Juan Mom on the Titan More text line. Who was my favorite wide receiver target in college and the NFL? I guess Willie Jackson would be my guy in college. And then the NFL, I mean, for a guy that didn't play a whole lot, but when I did play, I would probably say Curtis Conway.
Oh, Curtis Conway. Where did he play his college football?
He's a Trojan from Southern Cal.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, Curtis Conway. Wow. That's quite a name. How many years was he with you?
Well, we came in the same year, and he was with the Bears for quite a bit, and I can't remember where he went after that.
All right,
QB,
we've got SEC tournament basketball cranking up. You got the scrubs playing, meaning the teams that really are going nowhere and hopefully whose season will mercifully end today with LSU playing Kentucky at 12:30. We've got Mississippi State and Auburn. Neither team, I think, is a tournament team. Obviously, Mississippi State's not, but Auburn, I don't even see them on the bubble. That's an NIT team at best. That's at 3 o'clock. Mississippi, another poor team this year, playing Texas. Texas needs to win a few of these, I think. That's a 7 o'clock game. And then South Carolina, Oklahoma, same scenario for OU. OU's playing a lot better here lately. That's a 9:30 tip-off. If you wanted to look at some of these odds for the SEC tournament, I went through them yesterday on Win with JC, and Florida's laying 170 to win this tournament. The next team, the shortest odds would be Arkansas at plus 650, but they're the 3 seed. And then you have Alabama at plus 750. And then you have Vanderbilt at plus 1,000. That's 10 to 1. And then Tennessee at plus 800 with their banged up squad. They are the 5th seed. To win the national championship, QB, who would you say your 4 favorites are?
Oh, that would be Michigan, Arizona, Duke, and the Mighty Gators.
That's correct. Michigan minus 165, Arizona minus 125. They're the shortest number. Duke minus 175. They've got some injury issues right now with their guard and Boozer. Florida plus 125. I've got them in pocket at 10 to 1 to win it all. So that's to make the Final Four. To win it all, you've got Duke and Michigan at plus 325, Arizona plus 450. The Gators are now 7 to 1. I've got them in pocket at 10 to 1. Houston is 10 to 1 currently. Then it's UConn, Illinois, and Iowa State. And honestly, I don't think there's anyone else realistically that's going to win this thing. I think we're going to have the same scenario as last year. I've already said this. But if I had to go out on a limb and really find a team with a long shot, the team I mentioned yesterday at 100 to 1 are your Wisconsin Badgers, who have had wins this year on the road at Purdue, at Illinois, and at Michigan. So they're battle-tested, but they've also lost to teams like TCU on the road, Ohio State. They've lost to Nebraska and Indiana. So it really
what are you going
to
put on them, JC? What are you going to put on Wisconsin?
If you're getting 100 to 1, I think I'll put $10 on them. And if I win,
give me your $10 to go buy me another lunch, because Wisconsin ain't got a chance.
Well, look, nobody, I think, outside of top 5 is going to threaten to win this.
No,
but
I think there's about 8 or 9 teams that can win it.
You really think so?
I really do, because I mean, you get Houston, they can lock you up and get out physical you at times. You know, Iowa State, they're getting one of their better players back, I believe. I mean, those type of teams. There's a couple others that I'm leaving out because I don't have the list in front of me.
Well, how about UConn and Illinois? Those are the other 2 short shots.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, they can win the national title too. Okay. Yeah, no doubt. Miapa is proud to sponsor Gator Athletics at all Gator baseball home games. When the Gators win, like last night, you win a free cup of coffee at any Miapa location. Just show your ticket. Go Gators, go Miapa.
All right.
Are you a coffee drinker, JC?
Absolutely. I am. You and I are the only 2 people on the planet that don't like it, drink it, or want it. Nope. Can't take it.
You're right.
I cannot drink that stuff. I just don't understand. Everybody says the aroma of coffee. I want to run.
I like the way it smells.
I don't even like that. Yeah, I can't drink it, QB. I can't drink it.
I can't either.
Don't understand that.
John wants to know on YouTube, what's up with your Nebraska cap?
All right, so the Huskers, the number 2 seed in the Big Ten tournament. Love Fred Hoiberg. I don't know. This is the old N. This is the Johnny Rogers N. It's not the big, fat, ugly N they have now. This is the right N. It's the one that's on their helmet. I don't know. I've always been a Nebraska follower. I love their fan base. And I think what it really stems from is in 1995, when I was literally standing on the roof of the press box at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, and the Fighting Gators showed up against this professional team from Lincoln. And I went to media day, and I saw what these football players looked like. I got a glimpse of what it would be truly like 25 years later, because that's how far ahead Nebraska was in 1995. And since then, they've fallen right out of the room. But in 1995, they were the most amazing, physically looking team I had ever laid eyes on. And I told my photographer, I said, Werfel and Jaquez and those guys ain't got a chance, man. This is going to get really hideously ugly. And I stood on top of the press box and watched that and caught the flu on my way back. But the fans of the Nebraska fan base after that game and after that demolishing were about the most gracious and friendly and most curious fans of Florida that I'd ever seen in my life. And I've always kind of liked the way they behaved, the way their decorum was after the game, before the game, and during the game. They didn't act like a bunch of animals from the zoo who had just been released into the streets. They were normal people. I love Nebraska as a state because it feeds the freaking world. It's not too crowded. It's in the middle of nowhere, and it's wonderful. But that doesn't mean I'm a Nebraska Cornhusker fan necessarily, but I don't ever root against them necessarily unless they're playing somebody I really do like. But I've always liked Nebraska and their fan base, and it comes from that 1995 experience that I had, only to see it all turn around the following year with Florida in the Sugar Bowl against Florida State, covering that event as well. And those were the two biggest events I covered for Florida football in my illustrious television career.
That's a great story, JC. Andy says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel Law.
Great story.
Kansas can be a factor if the Peterson kid plays full games. I agree with that.
Well, I've seen them play well, but my God, they have no consistency. And this Peterson guy,
well, because you don't know if he's going to play the whole game. But I mean, if he get his act together, he'd be the first pick in the draft, and he still may be the first pick in the draft.
Well, I'm taking the kid from BYU as the first pick in the draft. So you can have Peterson. I'm taking Bonza. He's unbelievable. And BYU blew out somebody last night. He scored at will. To me, he's clearly going to be the first pick. I think you can still get him at plus odds if you want to take a shot at that. DeBonza. But Peterson's a good player. Sure he is. Okay, there's a lot of good players. But that's not enough for them to win. Their consistency lacks. They don't play defense that well. They don't defend. I think Kansas may not even make the Sweet 16. Honest to God, I'm not a big fan of them. I think Nebraska goes farther than they do. So.
Clint on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says, JC and Shane, these guys didn't even ask what kind of balls do y'all hit. You know, they were asking about my golf bag, what was in it.
Yeah.
It depends on what course I'm playing. I either play the Titleist Pro V.
Yep.
Or the Shrixon XV, whatever it's called, the ball that Koepka and Hideki, Matsuyama, Sepp Straka uses it, Shane Lowry uses it. Depends on what course I'm playing. But those are the two balls I play.
I'm a Pro V.
What do you play? Whatever's in the bag that's free?
Well, no, I mean, I get Pro V1s basically handed to me from work. I get Pro V1Xs. I like those when it rains. But I like Pro V1s. I like Pro V1Xs. And if I don't hit those,
why do you like Pro V1Xs when it rains?
I don't know. I just seem to do better with them. And then I like the TaylorMade TP5 ball. I think those are kind of cool. They're very similar to the Pro V1s. So the TP5 TaylorMade ball, but I'm a Titleist guy through and through, and I hit pings. So there you go, QB. That's what I use. And I lost my 6-iron.
Well, all you have to do is order another.
I did. $171 later. Thank you. God only knows when it'll come. But, yeah, the balls are important, folks. I mean, you really got to be comfortable with what you're hitting, I think. It's mental almost, but you do get –
more spin rate. You know, I spin the ball too much, so I can't play those. The Pro V1X, I spin it way too much. But,
yeah.
All right, JC.
All right, man.
Before we get you out of here, you got any locks for the people today?
Well, I'm going to Texas. I'm going to a hockey game tomorrow night. I like the Dallas Stars against Edmonton tomorrow night. Whatever the number is, go with the Dallas Stars because Edmonton has won 2 straight on the road. I think they come back, revert a little bit to the mean. They beat Colorado last night. Edmonton did. They're a very good team. They've got the best player on earth. I can't wait to see him. But in terms of basketball goes, I'm more into the futures right now as opposed to the games because the odds haven't posted up for the games that I actually care about or want to bet on. Some of these small mid-majors, I'm not really into those yet because I just can't predict it. Hofstra last night covered in the last 30 seconds of the game, but they were losing the whole night. It's just those games, these three-point shots that go in from nowhere. I mean, that's March Madness. It can happen on large major
game.
Yeah, that can happen on any game. It sure can. I don't know why it feels worse when you're betting on a mid-major game. It shouldn't, because all tickets cash the same. I understand that completely. But if I was looking at an interesting bet that I think you can find on Hard Rock about whether Florida or Duke can win their tournaments, you can get odds on that. But I also like parlaying the Gators with Miami and the Gators with Virginia in the event Duke shuts it down and tries to protect their players because of injuries that have hit their team pretty hard. Their guard is going to be out probably the entire rest of the season. I think Duke is going to probably win that ACC tournament, and you can pair them up with the Gators at plus odds. But if you want to get a really good payout, you take the Gators in the SEC with Miami or Virginia. Those are the 2 and 3 seeds, I think, along with North Carolina. Those are the top 4 seeds. North Carolina is not going to win it. It's either Miami, Virginia, or Duke. Pair one of those 3 or 2 of those 3 up with the Gators and just go to the bank because the Gators are winning their tournament because they don't care who they play, when they play, where they play. They're going to be the 1 seed in the South, and that's going to be a very opportunistic a chance for Gator fans to get ready and book those rooms in Indianapolis now because you can always cancel them in 2 weeks if you have to. But get them now, folks. It might be too late.
Might be too late. All right, JC, have a good day. We'll see you on Friday.
See you. All right.
Castaway Hot Sauce Company, from Mile to Wild. They have a flavor for every Gator fan, available at your local Publix, CastawaySauceCompany.com. Quick timeout. We'll come back. We'll be joined by Dr. Pete. Talk a little injuries here and there. If you got any questions, shoot her our way. You're watching and listening to PodUp with Matthews in the Morning from the International Diamond Center Studios. We'll be right back.
Our premium sponsors are Atlantic Roofing, Campus USA Credit Union, International Diamond Center, J.F. Hayden's Craft Liqueurs, Los Landeros Tequila, Meldon Law, Titan MRI and Imaging, Castaway Sauce, UF Health Orthopedics, Michael Snyder PLLC, Florida Legends Gala and Experience, South State Bank. Gridiron sponsors are Baker Sports, Florida Cracker Oyster, Electronics World, Gallo Car Wash, Miapa Latin Cafe, Peachland Dental, Quality Plumbing, Ruse Ogre State Farm, Silverback Concrete, 84 Lumber, Big Mills Cheesesteaks, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Florida Cracker Kitchen, Gator Dominoes, Ironwood Golf Course, McDonald's of Gainesville, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, UF Bookstores, International Gold and Diamond Exchange, Advocare, MGNA Wealth, Comfort Temp. Watch and listen to us live on Facebook or YouTube. Listen to podcasts wherever on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And to advertise, be sure to call my man Freddie at 352-284-3733.
Coach, you know what always impressed me? How you beat Florida State to win the 1996 National Championship.
And I was really impressed with your 06, 08, and 09 Gator teams.
And the way you coached Danny to the Heisman Trophy.
A lot like what you did with Tim Tebow.
You know, you won more SEC championships than you lost home games at the Swamp.
And you had plenty of super games in front of our Gator Nation.
Yeah, there really is something special about the Swamp.
I guess that's why we say about the Swamp, only the Gators get out alive.
To the Swamp and the Gators, with the best beverage served at Spur's Gridiron Grill, 100% agave, Los Landeros Tequila, aged in bourbon barrels for a smoother taste.
I think you mean Head Beer Coach 1966 lager, a crisp, light, bodied lager for easy drinking.
Nope. Los Landeros Tequila, smooth enough to drink neat and bold enough to elevate a cocktail. 1966
lager, enjoyed on game days in the fall or whenever you need a winning cold brew.
Los Landeros Tequila.
1966 lager.
Los Landeros.
1966 lager.
Y'all stop bickering.
Okay, you're both wrong anyway. The best thing Spurrier's Gridiron Grill offers are Jerry's famous chocolate chip cookies.
naysayers, setbacks, injuries. Life throws a lot of hurdles your way. The key is just keep jumping them.
Ever dreamed of catching a touchdown pass from Tim Tebow or Danny Werfel, or taking a handoff from the legendary Steve Spurrier? Then you need to join the Florida Legends Experience on Monday, March 30th at the Alachua County at Celebration Point. You'll receive a personal video of your touchdown and a football signed by the Gator Legends. Enjoy an unforgettable day of Gator greatness while supporting the incredible mission of Isaiah 117 House. Tickets are limited. Get yours now at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com. Don't miss your chance to be a part of Gator history.
Welcome back to the International Diamond Center Studios. 3 Heismans, 2 events, 1 legendary day. Join Steve Spurrier, Danny Werfel, and Tim Tebow Monday, March 30th at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill for the Florida Legends Gala and Experience. Visit them at FLLegends.com for tickets and sponsorship information. Back to the Titan of our hotline, and it is a legend in his own mind, Dr. Pete Indelicato. What's up, Doc?
Hey, how are you, Shane?
I'm doing great, man. Appreciate you coming on. First, I wanted to get you on what was a couple of weeks ago when the Olympics were going on. Tell us a little about the Lindsey Vonn injury. Do you think she tore her ACL in that trial run and then came back and tried to compete? Do you think that had anything to do with that horrific injury she had?
What's the answer to that question is no. If you look at the replay, she got knocked off balance, and it wasn't affected by the damaged ACL in that knee, as best as I could tell. But what's unique about her in general is the fact that she was able even to practice and compete within a week or so after tearing the ACL. That in my experience over 50 years is extremely unusual, because most of the time, for at least a few weeks after an ACL injury, the knee is very painful and swollen and limited as far as motion is concerned. So the fact that she was able to challenge herself to that degree is remarkable.
No doubt about it. MSRK on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says, how serious is a meniscus tear? It apparently nixed the Max Crosby deal. I don't know if you saw that, but Max Crosby was traded from the Raiders to the Ravens, and he didn't pass his physical. You went through a lot of these physicals when you were the team doctor for the Dolphins. But there probably had to be something more to it than just a meniscus tear, wouldn't you think?
Well, it depends how long post-op the exam was at the combine or wherever it was. And it also depends on whether they tried to repair the tear by suturing it, which requires a much longer recovery time. And it carries some risks versus taking the torn piece of the meniscus out, which shortens the recovery time, but has some possible different consequences months, if not years later. So meniscus healing after an injury depends, number one, on how it was approached in terms of repairing or removing, and also what the athlete's wishes were in terms of how quickly they wanted to recover versus facing long-term consequences. I hope that answered.
All right, we got a here's another question for you from Monty in Lynchburg, Virginia, on the Titan More text line. Ask Dr. Pete, back in the day, the high ankle sprain seemed to be one of the most aggravating and slowest healing injuries. What treatments are being employed today that speeds up that recovery?
Great question. Two things. One is accuracy of diagnosing it acutely, basically with MRI imaging, gives us a very exact account as to the extent of the damage, which was not present, 12, 15, 20 years ago. And second, a surgical technique called a tightrope. If the damage is significant enough to warrant surgery, this tightrope implant basically re-establishes or reconstructs the ligament damage that has resulted as a result of the high ankle sprain. So enhanced diagnosis and enhanced surgical technique in correcting the damage has dramatically shortened the recovery following a high ankle sprain today compared to years ago.
Dr. P, last time we had you on, which was several months ago, this whole NIL transfer, you had mentioned, it's really difficult for the team doctors of different universities now, because what is being done now since we talked to you last to help protect these doctors?
Great question, because actually, since we talked about it last, the number of lawsuits brought against team physicians, unrealistic, may I add, lawsuits against team physicians, has increased to the point where doctors, very, very talented doctors, very nationally known doctors, are refusing to take care of athletes with a dollar value placed on their ability to play sports. So what's being done now, there's a consortium of professional orthopedic and medical societies, the membership of which comprises about 95% of all team physicians, that have put together an advocacy committee that is planning to go to Washington and get in front of Congress, maybe even President Trump, to talk about limiting team physicians' liability when it comes to managing these high dollar athletes. And it's gotten some legs because Coach Meyer, Coach Saban, Coach Prime, and Coach K from Duke are all volunteering their time and energy to present these issues and on behalf of the team physicians to legislation. So there's a lot of moving parts, but I think the fact that last week President Trump met with this college saving committee will give what we're trying to accomplish some more credibility.
So basically, let's use me for example, Dr. Pete. Let's say I was playing in today's world. Let's say I was making $4 million as the Gator quarterback, hurt my shoulder, came back. You did the surgery, came back, and for some reason I couldn't throw as well. So players like me are suing the team doctor because I'm not the same player I used to be.
Correct.
Is that kind of what's going on?
That's exactly what's going on. And there have been lawsuits that settled regarding professional athletes in the north of $45 million.
Wow.
So well above what medical malpractice liability is willing to cover. So it's getting out of hand, particularly since, at least at the professional level, these injuries are considered workman's comp injuries, and therefore the surgical fee that these doctors are able to charge is minuscule compared to the risk and exposure that they get if the outcome is less than ideal or less than desirable. But that's a perfect example, Shane, of what you just gave.
Yeah, or a guy who is a receiver who runs a 4.3 whatever, tears his ACL. Dr. X works on him, comes back after his rehab, and he can't break 4.5. He's going to sue the doctor.
Correct.
That doesn't make sense at all.
And it's trickled down to college now. Obviously, right. with the NIL, that's where doctors are saying, I'm just not going to do this anymore because the exposure is too great.
Yeah. Barone 71's question for you on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. What's Dr. Pete's recommendation to break down scar tissue around the LCL area?
The ALCL?
No, the LCL.
Oh, LCL, the lateral side of your knee joint. That's very unusual to have scar tissue and loss of motion of the knee with an isolated injury to the LCL. But just in general, without knowing more detail, I would say just, gentle stretching on a regular basis. Probably not probably, but definitely recommend that you go see a physical therapist to help identify the extent of the problem. They are usually very, very helpful in correcting these types of scar tissue issues as a result of injuries at any joint.
Yellow Car Wash is locally owned by UF alum and the only car wash that provides NIL opportunities to Gator athletes. Locations on Northwest 13th Street, Wilson Road, and coming soon to Jonesville and the city of Alachua. A few more minutes with Dr. Pete Indelicato here on the Titan More Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Town. Doc, Dallas Wilson's had a foot injury. I know you can't touch on that, but the stress fracture is such an interesting, I don't know if interesting is the correct term to use, but how do stress fractures happen, and how hard is it for them to heal?
Well, I don't know about Dallas's particular injury, but stress fractures basically happen because the cumulative effect of stressing any bone in your body, if that is excessive to the point that the body can't internally keep up with that stress, eventually the bone, let's say in this particular case, will fatigue and develop a microscopic crack in it. And if left unnoticed or undiagnosed, that crack will eventually become more and more symptomatic, and it will eventually lead to an obvious fracture. Another reason that this is so onerous is the blood supply to this particular area is usually marginally at best. So you don't have the body's own internal ability to repair the stress as it's occurring. And it's basically a mechanical engineering thing that the stress on that part of your body is overwhelming the body's ability to deal with it. And eventually the stress wins, and this microscopic crack becomes a overt fracture.
All right, Deanne's question on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. I don't think you can comment on this, but I'm going to read it anyway. She says, Dr. Pete, with DJ Lagway's injury history, one of the most puzzling of a high-profile athlete that you've seen at UF.
Again, I can't speak directly to his injury, but I can just say that DJ was taken care of by one of the most experienced sports medicine team in the country. He had experts from around the country weigh in on his shoulder problem. A recovery program was recommended and carefully followed by Lagway and the doctors and trainers here locally. So I think that his shoulder wasn't a problem during the season, although people seem to have claimed that it was speculative. We all wish him the best. He's a great kid, and I'll be rooting for him going on. Only other than when Florida ever plays Baylor.
That's right. All right. Here's a question on Facebook Live brought to you by Melon Law. Dr. Pete, do you have any go-to remedies to help relieve plantar fasciitis? It's the golf ball. Roll your foot on the golf ball, right, Doc?
Yeah, that's one of them. Basically, you have to stretch your Achilles, the back of your heel, your foot. It's a very lingering nuisance type of problem. What we used to do when an athlete had it for more than 4 to 6 weeks was go into that area with a minimally invasive procedure and release the area of inflammation that results in plantar fasciitis. And recovery is very predictable and short. But if my recommendation is, if you're dealing with it to the point that it affects your quality of life, is to go see a podiatrist or an orthopedic surgeon, get the right type of orthotic or physical therapy, and try and manage it that way.
Yeah. All right. Last question for you. You've been retired for quite some time, haven't been a team doctor here at UF, but when you look at the athletes in today's world, Doc, as much money as they're being paid, to me, it seems like a lot of guys, they hurt their hamstring or they get a hip pointer or whatever the injury may be. Back in those days, you get your treatment and you try to get on the field and play as much as possible. I feel like in today's world, they have so many, these kids have college agents, they have agents, they got these other people that are marketing agents, their whole little team. Do you think the athlete today, I don't want to say if they're not tough, but they don't probably play in pain like they did back in the day? We used to just, if you hurt, you got out there and played. In today's world, I think they're paying so much money, they don't want to hurt themselves financially by going out and playing when they're not 100%. I don't know if my question made any sense, but do you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's basically what we're seeing at the college level now is what we always saw at the professional level, is that there is a lot more going into decisions about return to play. A lot of people are weighing in on whether somebody should or shouldn't play or practice, so forth. And it's basically, Shane, to be honest with you, it's a quagmire of today regarding safety of return to play, who's whispering in the athlete's ear, secondary motives, secondary gains. I've made my money. I'm not going to risk getting hurt to play in these next few games. It's professional sports at the college level, and all the issues that come with it. They're right there, right, dealing with coaches, agents, doctors, trainers, family, social media. Social media, don't get me started on social media. Social media today has really had a negative effect on doctors, team physicians' relationship with athletes. Because it's very, I'll just leave it at the fact it's very different.
Yeah. Doc, appreciate your time. It's always great information. We'll get you back on, maybe try to start getting you on once a month, because a lot of people have a lot more questions I couldn't get to, but appreciate your time, my man. Good.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
Yep. That's Dr. Pete Joyce on the Titan Moore Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. When Urban Meyer wanted to introduce his high quality tequila to the Gator Nation, he made sure to get it to the HBC and his team at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill and Dorn's Liquors. Go beyond with smooth, Los Landeros Tequila. Thanks to Dr. Pete and JC. Have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow, folks. Take care.